So with the holiday season quickly approaching, I wanted to give you guys the best two-way builds in NBA 2K20, especially at the guard position. So this video is specifically going to focus on that, and this will be between the heights of 5'7" and 6'7" for my people who like to play the point guard, shooting guard, and small forward position. That way you can be an effective player that can be on the defensive side of the ball along with the offensive side of the ball and still do what you have to do. So I wanted to make sure you guys are well aware of what we're going to be doing going forward. These are going to be all two-way builds, and they're not going to be ranked from 1 to 5 or anything like that. It's just going to be builds that you guys can base it off of and choose to make yourself if you're going ahead and trying to make a build this winter. So if you're excited to see some two-way builds, let me know in the comment section. But if you are new to the channel, subscribe and also turn on those notifications. That way you never miss an NBA 2K20 video, and let's get it. So as of right now, we're starting with the point guard position. The skill you want to go with is the half red, half green, which is the shooting and defending pie chart. Next, this is what separates me from most other players. I prefer having a high vertical in order to snag rebounds over smaller players or even bigs who don't have a high rebounding attribute, especially being a two-way player versus having the speed pie chart. So we're going to go with this one, and you'll understand why here in a little bit. Now we got the attributes set on this build, and I just wanted to give you a quick look at the raw data that we have right now. Now you see the badge upgrade points. We got 6 finishing, 18 shooting, 9 playmaking, and 19 defensive and rebounding, which is a good look for a point guard, needless to say. So one thing I want you to keep in mind with this build as we're looking at it right now is the pass accuracy is at exactly 78. You want to keep that in mind when making this build because you're looking for a certain name when you're making this build. Also, I added 2 attribute points to post moves. That way it got it from 29 to 31 to give you that extra badge points. And besides putting it on block, your defensive attribute points, I put it on defensive rebounding. Now, body style, it really does not matter. It's honestly just a preference of your choice of how you want your guy to look. We'll go with built, keep it at 6'3". Now, for me, this is what I like to do. I like to drop my weight as much as possible, but not too low in order to have that 90 acceleration and 94 vertical. When you test this build, it's going to allow you to test that 99, but it's not going to be a true 99. So with your physicals, when you go to the Gatorade workout facility in my career, you get a +4 to each of those categories. After that, if you unlock the gym rat badge or get to 99 overall, you get another +4 to your physicals. So with that, this build will then have 98 acceleration, 99 vertical, along with around 97, 98 speed if you get to 99, which is a good look. So right now we're stopping at 6'3", 172. And the key here to get this build that you want is you want to make sure your ball handling goes to 80. And this is going to make this build significantly better because when you hit 99 on this build, it'll then have 84 ball handling. You'll also have lateral quickness in the 90s. You have 88 perimeter defense. And so you'll be really set up as a viable shooter / secondary or primary ball handler that's not trying to dance around screens or anything too much. Now, as far as me, I prefer a lockdown takeover. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The first build that I would suggest you create if you would like to as a guard is the two-way shot creator. The reason I brought this build up is because of the similarities of Ja Morant, Steve Francis, Stephen Curry. It can shoot, it can defend on an elite level, and also be able to ball handle. And of course, people have nostalgia with this build as well from 2K19 and previous 2Ks. So I just wanted to give you this build. So let's get into the next one. Now this build is going to start from the shooting guard position. It's also going to be with the half defending, half shooting pie chart as well. Now for this pie chart specifically, I want you to go with the speed pie chart just because of how it's going to be built. You want to make sure you have as much speed as possible because you're already going to be 6'5", 6'6", depending on how you build this character. But you want to make sure you have that speed in order to be a viable defender, but also have that length at 6'5". Now, as far as this build going forward, I just wanted to give you a quick breakdown on what the attributes look like. And you see we have the standing dunk. We also have the shooting almost maxed out, which we only added 2 attribute points to post fade. So pay attention to that specifically. We added 1 attribute point to post moves after maxing out ball handling and passing. And outside of this, you see what the defense is looking like. Everything perimeter, lateral, steal, block, and defensive rebounding. We got it up as much as possible, but take a look at the badge points. 8 finishing, 15 shooting, 10 playmaking, and 17 defensive and rebounding. So you're really going to be balanced as a shooting guard all over the floor, along with having length and being able to defend. So here we're going to go 6'5", and at this point, this is the weight that I would go with personally, because strength for a guard at the 1 through 3 position, you're not going to be in the post as much, and as a defensive player you automatically get animations that benefit you due to the defensive badges you get, like clamps, moving truck, etc, etc. So we're going to stop at 178, which gives us an 84 lateral quickness and 84 perimeter defense, which at 99 you get +4, so that's going to be 88 for both of those categories. Now for me, I like to go down 1 on this. That way I get that 81 3-point. That way, whenever I get 99, it'll be 85 mid-range shot and 85 3-point, which is a good look. So right now, if you would like, especially with this build, you can go with a sharp takeover, and you get a 2-way 3-level facilitator. Now, just to break it down to you, this is technically a Scottie Pippen build, because he's a 2-way 3-level facilitator or 2-way 3-level scorer, however you want to put it. But this is a very solid build for people who want to just be balanced across the floor, especially with defense. You can handle the ball as a secondary ball handler and also be a viable shooter from range at a given moment. Now this next build is going to remain at the shooting guard position. Now when it comes to the skill breakdown, we're also going to pick the half red and half green again, which makes 3 times in this category, which obviously this proves that this gives you a lot of options as a player. We're going to go with the speed pie chart as far as your physical profile. Now as far as the attribute layout, what we have here, most of finishing is done that is important for you. You got your shooting almost maxed out. Playmaking is in a good space, especially with that +1 to post moves to give you that 10th playmaking badge point. Then you get defense all across the board, which is a good look. We're going to go with a built, but this one you can make it 6'6", and so this will make you more of a lengthy defender all over the floor, along with still having speed. Now you still want to drop your weight to 180 in this one. That way you still get to 85 at 99 overall perimeter defense and lateral quickness. You're going to drop your wingspan by 2. That way you get that 80.9, which is still really long, but you also are able to shoot above 80. So you'll have an 85 mid-range with an 84 3-point shot. And I think that's a really good look. Now with this one, I'm probably going to go with the defending takeover. That way, once I am in takeover, it's going to be more of a threat all across the board, because I believe you get +10 to all of your important defending takeovers and +5 to your offensive stats. Now you have made a 2-way sharpshooter. You can still be a decent ball handler because you're still going to unlock the pro dribble moves that you get as far as being above 70 overall, but you get the comparison to Luka, Victor, and Bradley Beal, and honestly it's a really good look as far as the badge layout that you get, plus the defensive badges that you get at 6'6". So this is another 2-way build for those of you that want to be a little taller. This will work. So now with this next build, we're going back down to the point guard position. For our skill breakdown, we're going to be using the half defending and the half playmaking pie chart. For this one, I would suggest go with the vertical and speed pie chart, because you're going to have 3 categories in the 99 range. So now that we've applied the attributes, look at the badge upgrades in the side there. We have 40 between playmaking and defensive rebounding, and also 10 shooting and 11 finishing, which is a really good loadout for us if you're looking for something. That's 61 badge points. So that's a really good look if you're looking to try to make something special happen. Now, you have our close shot, driving layup, and driving dunk maxed. The one difference in the shooting category is you're going to take off -1 after you max it out to post fade. You want to get ball handling and pass accuracy all the way up, except you want to leave 1 off of pass accuracy. Max out your perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, and defensive rebounding, and there you have it. You have a strong build that can defend as a point guard. You can also move it to the 2 respectively, and it can still do a lot of damage, and you can play with this build at a larger height than you anticipate. So as far as the body side, we're going to keep it built. Now you see that 94 speed there. This build, honestly, you can raise it up to 6'5", and it's still gonna be a dangerous opposition for most point guards. So you keep it at 6'5" there, and you get 85 ball handling still. Drop your weight down to 178, which keeps your lateral quickness at 85, because if you drop it any lower, it really doesn't matter. But you get that +1 to acceleration, which is going to easily get you that 99 accel, 99 vertical, along with 99 speed. Now, this is where it separates for most people here. I'm going to leave this up to you guys, but if you leave your wingspan at default, of course, you're going to be more of a threat on the defensive side, being able to get those passing lane steals. And when you're at 99, your 3-ball will then become a 71. Now, pay attention to the 3-point shot. If I drop this at 78 now, you're going to have a 73 3-ball at 99 overall for a two-way slasher. So that means you're going to have a driving dunk of in the 90s. Your driving layup is going to be at 86. Your close shot's going to be at 89. You're going to have all your shooting categories in the 70s or higher. So that's going to be a real good look. Your ball handling, you're already going to be able to speed boost off rip. And then, of course, your defense is still very solid. It's better than most builds in general. So if you stop it at 78, you see the options for the takeover here. Personally, I would go with the shot creating in order to get the addition to your dribble and your moving shots, or you can go with the lockdown. Personally, I would probably go lockdown here. And you have now made a two-way slashing playmaker. So this is somewhat similar to a Russell Westbrook, as you see, Steve Francis, John Wall. You're going to be able to push the tempo and do many things with this build. Now, moving to the shooting guard position, I have this build personally in my repertoire. We're going to go with the playmaking and defending pie chart. We're also going to go with the vertical and speed. So now you see where the attributes are set up, and this is at the shooting guard position. I want you to remember, so you get 10 finishing, 10 shooting, 11 playmaking, and 19 defensive and rebounding. Now, I know this is not similar to the point guard position because the point guard gets a lot more, but what you want to pay attention to are the attribute caps that we're getting on this build. The point guard didn't have an 80 block. It also didn't have, I believe, as high of a steal, or maybe it did actually. But the main thing you want to pay attention to is the block here, because you're going to be able to protect the rim actually at a larger size or keep it at the same size, and you get the same amount of badge points or one less than you would as a point guard. So with that ability, I notice I block shots with my build personally. We're going to go with built. Now, this is the difference here. If you go 6'6", you're still going to have almost a 97, 98 speed with this build. If you keep it at 6'5", of course, you're going to have 99 in 3 categories. So this is honestly preference to you guys. But if we show it at 6'6", drop the weight down, of course, to 180. That way you still have that lateral quickness at 81, which will max at 85 once you hit 99, and your perimeter defense will be 86. Now, this is, of course, another preference thing. If you get to 99, your 3-point is now a 72 with a 6'6 build. If you want to keep it at a default, you still get a 71 3-ball here. And this is a 73 ball. So you're going to be 6'6", long arms with a 73 ball, and you're also going to be able to dribble really well. Now, if you want to be able to speed boost with this build, you want to make sure you're at 78. Now, this is 6'6". I want you to remember that. So that'll mean at 99, you'll get the 86 ball handling, and you'll be able to pull out those crazy behind the back moves and all that. But as far as the takeovers, let's say we go with the slasher takeover in this one. You become a two-way slasher. So your biggest comparison is a Jaylen Brown. And that's a good look, honestly, for people who are really wanting a build that can just be a true 2 or 3, which is shooting guard or small forward position. I think it's a good look. Now we're going to stick at the shooting guard position simply because you get more attribute points in certain categories than you would at the small forward or point guard position. So keep that in mind. Now, this skill breakdown is going to be for my people who really just want to be a true lock, like a lockdown defender. They don't want to do nothing else really but lock you up. This is the pie chart we're going with the 3/4 defensive rebounding, and you see the stats on the left side of the screen. They're unbelievable for the build that we're looking at right now. So we're going to go with this one. Now, this pie chart specifically, this is still good, but honestly, I would go with the balanced at this point because you get 82 strength. But of course, this comes down to preference because a balanced pie chart, you're not going to get 99 speed. I think you're going to get around 97, 96. But with this one, you'll for sure get 99, and 67 strength on a guard is still incredible. So now that we got the attribute points set, I just wanted to give you a quick breakdown of how it's looking. Now remember, this is for a guard, point guard, shooting guard, small forward position here. You have our finishing where it needs to be. Shooting. Now in this situation, a 65 mid-range, you're still going to be respectable from mid-range. That doesn't mean you're going to always hit your shots, but you're still going to be able to knock down a mid-range if they leave you open and disrespect you. Especially at 99, you're going to get a 69 mid-range shot. That's nothing to be excited about, but it's still enough. As far as playmaking, we can always tinker this a little bit, but you get 10 playmaking badges and you're going to be an absolute nightmare with your first step, especially having those playmaking badges on tap. And of course, defensive, you get 30 defensive badge points. And look at the interior defense. You're going to be guarding bigs on the inside. Anybody who's a power forward, they have to respect you on the defensive end. And you're going to be causing a nightmare for most people. Now, as far as the body type, you could go with anything here. You can even go burly if you like, if you just want to be a little bit bigger on the floor. But go with built. Now, this is the build I say you can take it up to 6'7", because you're already a shooting guard. Your job is mainly to defend, and you want to be as long as possible, as fast as possible, and make an impact everywhere on the floor. But this is the one build I say you can have at 6'7" and 180, and you still see you get 61 strength. All of those other guard builds before don't even get that. So I'm thinking you're going to be matched up against that. Once you hit 99, your perimeter defense is going to be 92. Your lateral quickness is still going to be at 91. And that's incredible for a 6'7" build. You drop it down to 180. Wingspan, if you want to just add that to it, boom, you have the wingspan there to now have a 90 plus steal, 93 block. You're 6'7", you're going to be able to guard any and everybody on the floor, along with the 78 free throw. So if you get to the line, people have to respect you. Wingspan, and from here, I would say to make you more of an offensive threat, you could probably go with the slasher takeover, but defending is always good as well to be just more of a terror on the defensive end. But I chose slasher, and you now have a two-way finisher. And this build is just a absolute nightmare in the right person's hands. This is a pro-am build, a rec build, a park build in the right person's hands if they know how to move on the floor. Make sure they give their teammates space and don't try to shoot any crazy shots. But guys, these were the 5 builds, or 6 builds actually, I wanted to give to you guys. That way you can just have the opportunity to figure out what you want to be as a two-way and as a guard. I hope this video helped you. You have many options. Make sure to go back and watch certain areas for certain builds that maybe you wanted to try yourself, but I wanted to give you guys a strong breakdown on builds that I would use, and also I feel that are the best two-way builds in NBA 2K20. But besides that, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and also like the video, and I'll see you in the next one, my people.